Today, the peaceful assembly that happened in Jalan Sultan signifies a new chapter of history in Jalan Sultan. And the history was triggered off by a very silly act of a GLC, namely MRT Co, that chosen to demolish buildings of a decade old in Jalan Sultan. Certainly the community that includes the people, the merchants, the businessmen and the KL folks are very unhappy of this happening that took place 3 days ago. And now the demolition work is still going on, and I think you have witnessed that, and they have a plan to tear down the 3 buildings in a short while. As far as Jalan Sultan is concerned, like with what we have actually been saying, any building along here, whether it is a government owned or whether it is privately owned, it is of a part of the history of Jalan Sultan and Jalan Sultan community. It shouldn't be looked upon just a belonging of the government, and the government should not tell the public that the building belongs to the government and therefore the government can do anything. We are saying this is actually a very disturbing act of the government by not listening to the people. Therefore, to put in summary, there are 3 things that we must insist. Firstly, MRT Co and the government should conduct a public consultation with the sincere of getting feedback from the people and to judge the response of the people and to make decision out of the comments of the people. Secondly, the design of MRT tunneling work has to go back to the drawing board, because we can see that it is not only tearing down the heritage buildings in Jalan Sultan, it is affecting the livelihood of all the businessmen in Jalan Sultan. We have heard reports that actually with the stoppage of the operation of Uda Ocean and the bus station, it has already caused a reduction of 30% of business. Some even suffer 50% cut of their normal business. It is actually a disastrous move to tear down this building. They have to go back to the drawing board to go for realignment. We do not know whether they are capable of making a wise decision of choosing an appropriate road for the tunneling work, but we feel that the alignment through Jalan Sultan is definitely a very, very unwelcome choice. Thirdly, MRT Co and his contractor has to stop the demolition works. It is actually destroying buildings that belong to the whole nation. It is not to just Dewan Bandaraya. We have to request the mayor of Kuala Lumpur to give direct instruction to stop what is happening now. We are very sad to see that PPKL had not taken any action or any kind of consultation being conducted before MRT Corp's contractor started the demolition work 3 days ago. Here, we are not against development, but we have to tell them it has to be a coordinated one. Now, as far as the KL master plan, KL 202 master plan, which was actually put for public comment and in the year of 2008, MRT project has not ever been announced yet. The MRT project was only announced in the year 2010, January. So as far as the original plan of KL that actually depicts a complete picture of preserving Jalan Sultan and Jalan Sultan being heritage territory should still remain. And when we present this particular issue to the Prime Minister, he acknowledged it and he admitted it, and he felt that whichever buildings along Jalan Sultan and Jalan Sultan should have heritage value and should have historic background and should be preserved.
So in essence, your buildings are protected, so what do you have to worry about?
Well, we have to actually put up strong statement in the paper to question the ministry, the few ministries. Number one is the Ministry of Culture under Dato' Seri Rais Yatim, and also the Ministry for Tourism, Dato' Seri Nguyen Yen, to seek their remarks on the response on the demolition of these buildings, which actually is part of our culture, and in fact it is a central attraction for all the tourists so far. Well, as you can see from the signboard, apparently the contractor has actually got the approval from most of the authorities, but may not be from all the authorities. We have to find out whether the procedure has been adhered to, and failing which, I think we have to get the public's attention to the preservation of these old buildings. Now, it is only through the public strength that we can stop this kind of nonsense. I don't think we have much hope to revert this matter to MRT Co. I don't think MRT Co is listening to us. And even with the assurance from the Prime Minister, things like that are still happening. What else that we can actually expect? I think we have to do and we have to pursue a different course of action. Yeah, he mentioned it many times, and even over the press and even over telecast, that he said the government has no intention to tear down any building along Jalan Sultan. But this is happening. We can see that the government failed to adhere to their promise.
But it seems that despite all the said capacity funds, saying that the numbers leaking, so what are you going to do next? They are still going to continue like they are.
We can't physically put up any wall or fortress to stop the contractor from demolishing the buildings. I can see that. But I think we have to classify it as a public morale. I think it has to be looked upon as a public issue. A public issue that actually concerns everybody. It's not only concerning Jalan Sultan or a bunch of others like us. I think it should be looked upon as a procedure that should adhere to a democratic way of dealing with matters. So public consultation has to be conducted first. We just ask for a public consultation. It has to be carried out before anything should be done now. But this is a plan. Well, we have to pursue and insist public consultation. We are not going to organize any kind of physical, stoppage along the road as well as in front of the building. That's something which actually we can't do. We can't do. I look as if they're not going to listen to us, what else can we do? If they're not going to listen to us, we have to show them the strength. And again, we have to get you all people to come to the streets. And it's actually not a good choice, but then we can't help it. We have to continue putting pressure putting pressure on MRT Co and the government to stop it.
MalaysiaKini.com.
Malaysia Kini.
For the Malaysia Kini,